All right, greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. It is still February 12th. We are now in the evening block of our CS:GO broadcast. As always, you see that smiling man right next to me, the pride, the heart, the favorite son of Canada. Mahone TV is back. Did you have a good little break in between the Northern Kentucky and North Texas game?
Oh yeah, just played some CS,
Is that why you were like, wait a couple minutes?
Just had to finish a couple rounds,
A couple rounds. Everybody pug quick, rush.
Yeah.
So good little break in between games for me as well. We're getting ready for VCU versus New York, as you guys see above us. Two pretty good teams overall, I would say. Generally, New York, a big representative of the Northeast and the East Side, Virginia Commonwealth as well. Virginia Commonwealth, a team that finished up 7-0 in the fall side of things, really dominant. Only had a couple teams where they kind of ran into a little bit of trouble, but still ended up beating them. Spring side, so far so good. Outside of their one loss to UCLA, which was a 14-16 on Nuke. But their win was against UMass on Cash, and they still have a nice little full schedule left to go with main matchups against Minnesota. It looks like Grand Canyon is still on the schedule. Sheridan is on there, but I think that's a forfeit win in the makings in the short term for them. But the people that we'll be definitely looking for, I feel like, in this match for the VCU side is going to be AK the Virus. Multiple 20 frag plus games that we've seen across the season. Only really a couple that have dipped under there. So he's been a very consistent leader, as well as Chaz, their captain, and I think they're gonna have a pretty good match today, I would hope, but they do, I feel like, stack up pretty evenly with somebody like New York. Can you drop some knowledge bombs for us for NYU?
Yeah, NYU, they've been practicing together. They have an ESCA team together, actually. I think they're 4-1 in this ESCA Open right now, so they're definitely putting in the time. The players to look out for are probably Hells, PGK, and PGK's been over here for a long time. I think he started in the first season of CSL as well. And yeah, I think generally they have a pretty solid lineup, and it's just one of those cases where these guys, they may not be the most individually skilled, but they put the time together, so it might stack up well.
Indeed, and for some of those that are keeping tabs on the win-losses, they've beaten Carnegie Mellon, Penn Tech, SUNY Binghamton, which some teams have ran into a little bit of trouble with in the spring.
Yep.
Penn State, Rochester, but their losses are probably the more important ones to note, at least on the fall side. They've lost to RIT and Hootie Baruch, and Baruch obviously is one of the teams that everybody's a bit worried about, and so is RIT to an extent. So we also have the spring side of things where they have already beaten Grand Canyon. They got that forfeit win over Sheridan, but they took a loss to UMass as well. So both teams really kind of similar but varied in like minor ways in regards to their win-loss and who they face up against. Because you look at the fall side of VCU as well. I mean, they've beaten North Carolina State, Everett, CPAC, Clemson, Rutgers, Virginia Tech, and West Virginia. And that doesn't really give you a good story because like CPAC, Everett, and Clemson, I think, have all dropped out. Rutgers is doing okay so far. Virginia Tech's doing okay, but you can't really get a good feel with other teams like West Virginia or North Carolina State per se. And obviously fall side is fall side. So well, I mean, I guess if the teams are going to be ready here shortly, it looks like we can be ready to go in about 30 seconds, guys, so don't go anywhere. We'll be back with VCU versus New York. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Collegiate Star League. It looks like we are getting ready for what looks to be the ninth round of VCU versus New York. Obviously, joining me is Mahone tonight. Any general predictions on a map like Mirage? I guess first we'll start with your outlook. What's your outlook on Mirage as a map?
Yeah, Mirage. Mid control, definitely a big thing for T side. I would actually say, though, because a lot of teams know how to play Mirage now, it's much more dependent on how well the CTs can react. So when the Ts take mid, do the CTs know to take control of other parts of the map, like A ramp, Palace, upper B type thing? So I think that's what it really comes down to here, is seeing which teams can actually react well.
Ooh. Chaz with a nice little 2-on-1 on the knife side as well. Obviously,
Yeah.
my minor things to note. You don't get that really
Yep.
counted at the stats at the end of the day, but you get to pick their side, and nice job by him. Well, I mean, Mirage, I think it's a fun map. I think it's more of a map that players have become a little bit more accustomed to for CS:GO. It's not one
Yep.
that people have played a lot like Nuke. It's not one that actually people have probably gotten a little more out of style compared to something like Inferno or Train. Mirage
Yeah.
is one of those maps you see a lot alongside of like Dust 2.
Yep.
Would I be too wrong to say that?
No, you're absolutely correct. It's always Mirage and Cash now that are like the new Dust 2s. Like everybody plays it.
Well, here we go, guys. On the CT side, we got Virginia Commonwealth starting, and then we got New York on the T side. And looks like we do have in the lineups, aka the Virus State. Chaz is playing for them as well. Meanwhile, on the side of NYU, who are you going to be looking for? PGK or
PGK and Hells, probably. That's what I'm going to be looking out for.
Gotcha. All right. Well, it looks like we've got a nice little A rush starting off here in the get go. Who is there to defend it? That looks like it's just Blur. They stacked B. Ah, this is so bad. What a rough start this could be if they sneak up quietly here into A.
Yeah, it's all down to Blur to actually play retake here. This is actually a pretty common setup where you just retake A, stack the players towards B for a B rush. So Blur, he needs to make sure he stays alive here.
Yeah, good job. Got a couple shots in, dinked a little bit, managed to stay alive, even was getting chased down back into CT side of things. Bomb is getting planted. Chaz is trying to find some sort of an opening right now, but meanwhile over here, Carrick doing some work, holding up the CTs, and he will clear out 2 players on the rotate. This is awesome. What a start.
Beautiful.
There goes
That was
Chaz.
textbook.
Yeah,
that strat was textbook. The fact that NYU, after they took the site with the connector and jungle smoke, and they pushed spawn, got those kills, they pretty much just sealed the round. So beautiful execution on that pistol round.
No, indeed, that was really awesome. Watching just how strong Carrick held that rotate. Usually you don't see that too often, just being able to engage like that up front and doing so well against them. This time around looks like a bit of a mixed bag of positioning. We got a little bit of mid control, a little bit of B-side control, and oh my god, Das Vidanya to a small sushi. He had a huge headshot from Virus. And now we have some almost close encounters. PGK's got to be careful heading down low towards the tunnel. He'll be heard by Green Bean if he heads on down there. Is this more of kind of like a default kind of split right here? Nothing like really too committal at the moment.
Yeah, it's definitely, you want to make sure you kind of keep the CTs honest, punish their pushes and stuff like that. So far NYU's done a good job. It's just that the small sushi has gone down, but they still have the gun advantage here. As VCU, they only have a couple armors. It's not like they have big investment here.
Mm-hmm. Well, they're slowly creeping up, looking over to B. Luhar's going to be the first person that will end up greeting them there if they do head down that way, but not too far away. They got AK Green Bean hanging there, so if he pops out at the right time and stalls him up, this could be a nice little crossfire position for them. Smokes are coming out right here. Luhar sees all of it coming. He's got to move because of the molly. They're going to not spot him because they all hopped out of the first window. And Green Bean, though, doing some damage here as he takes out 2 through the window side of things. Bomb is down, but it is close to sight, so if they get a chance to pick it up and plant it, they could try, but no way, Jose. Look at Green Bean just doing some mad damage right now. Only remaining player is Carrick right now, but he's got the AK versus 3 pistols. Can he do it?
Yeah, he's in a really tough spot here, especially with all these deagles. But if he can find the first kill, it might be doable. There it is. Finds Blur, but not able to land the spray. But beautiful round from Green Bean, just
4K.
using his deagle. Yeah, just using his deagle from far range and just like picking them apart. Just because like most of NYU didn't really have an AK or anything like that. It just had SMG, so they weren't really able to fight the deagle in that way. So 1-1.
How do you like to play on a map like this, generally yourself? Like, if it's not UBC and you got to call to play yourself?
Well, I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with what they did, but I would have wanted to see them poke around middle a little bit more before just committing right to B. They had a lot of time left on the round, so I think it was just a bit premature.
Well, Well, we got Chaz creeping up through mid. He's going to be created by a lot of T's, getting cross flank, but he's got some support on the backside. Green Bean once again coming through, getting to, dropping Hells, dropping Daz, dropping PGK with the help of Virus, and then finishes finally off Small Sushi. What a wipe right there. Minimal losses for VCU for what they were able to buy, and yeah, just got very clogged right up there in mid for all the T-side players. Couldn't really find an opening to move or run away. Do you just like want to, at that point, just run away, back out of there once you start seeing your whole area getting charged?
Well, the thing is that I feel like VC was actually expecting NYU to like fully buy up there. That's why that mid push was so aggressive, right? But I mean, they really didn't even invest that much into that round, so I don't know. It's a little bit questionable.
Well, we got Chaz popped up in mid with an op right here in the window. Let's see if he spots anybody. There's 2-3 players kind of floating around the mid area, so they'll have to be really careful. Nice little boost right there. He's going to try to come through the smoke. They managed to actually get a Green Bean right now, and you can see Virus moving out of the way. Some positional play for New York here potentially, as they manage to get under the tunnel there as well to get closer to mid. Flashes up, gets through into position. He's got to be really careful. If Chaz just looks down, he might be able to spot him. Oh, little cat and mouse right now. Oh, he gets him. Wow.
I can't believe he went for that. Like, that was so dangerous. If he missed that, I mean, if there was a guy top mid, he would have definitely killed him. But
I mean, he's got to be thinking that he doesn't have the guns necessary either. Because if you had,
yeah,
like,
that's true.
if you had anything but a pistol, I mean, just getting a headshot is going to be simple. Carrick getting dropped by Blur. Only remaining player is PGK. He's all by himself. Bombs out in the middle of sight. Manages to get a nice little shot out there though. Cute headshot on Virus. That will send him back. But 2 players playing the A site right now at the moment. Good crossfire right over the bomb area as well. Oh, I think Blur spots PGK.
Yeah, they're both aware of each other here. And oh, good flash, good flash. That was perfect. That flash time was. I mean, there's nothing PGK could have done about that.
I think it was good coordination because he saw where he was. He threw it in that general direction and just happened to catch him out as he's walking out in the middle of the middle of the site. So it eventually ended up working in their favor. That was a nice play.
Yeah, but you know, one thing I'm starting to notice, like, man, the shots are so crisp in this game so far. Like, both teams definitely have a good amount of aim here.
Yeah, a lot of teams this year from the East Coast have decided to show up. I feel like for a good portion of the time there's a lot of dominance on the west side of things for Legion CSGO, but now the East Coast has a lot of great representatives this year, obviously including these 2 teams. VCU had a good year last year, ended up making playoffs, took a little bit of an earlier exit, but looking here at the moment while they're jumping on the A side, Small Sushi takes out Virus. Blur goes down too as well. Not sure how he saw him right there, but only player left on site is Chaz. He tries to get another scope. Did he dink him?
No, he just barely missed. Barely missed.
And then Luhar and him are going to be holding up. Chaz in a really difficult position with an opera here in between both sides of the T. So that might be pushing in here. PGK will find himself Luhar, and all remains right now is just Chaz on stairs. On A side. Can he hold on? Oh, he does manage to get PGK. Almost gets himself a little bit of Hells. Eventually does end up getting Hells. Look at this madman sticking in. Gets flashed. Eventually taken down.
It's like I was watching. It's like I was watching Fallen from SK there, just trying to get out of such a tight situation, just hitting all the shots.
Ballsy. I'll give him admirable stick in there. Just try. I mean, a little bit here, a little bit there. Might have been able to get a couple more kills and turn it into a one-on-one. So really close on Chaz's side. So far 3-2 though. Nice little trade. Current kill leader, we got Green Bean leading the way. So he's been holding Connector down pretty damn well. Carrick and PGK tied up on the T side for NYU. Meanwhile, default. From the looks of it, we got 2 on B and mid side, and the others looking to see what they can create over on A side.
Mostly just a default round here from NYU. I think they're actually expecting VCU to maybe save here, but you know, they bought, but they have like no utility. So for VCU to win this round, they kind of have to get aggressive. They can't play default.
Yeah, they'll have to be careful. Blur moving up right here, close to Palace. And he'll might find himself Carrick here. He's gonna think he's gonna walk through the smoke. He heard him creeping around over there. Now we got T's running on in. Smoke's coming down all over the places. Flash as hell's completely blind as a bat. Gets taken down by Blur. I don't blame him. I couldn't see anything there either. And right here, Blur's just trying to hang on spot for anybody else. And Palace doesn't get PGK. Nice little duel right there from both the players. And now all that remains are 2 CTs trying to enter with whatever they can. Sushi was the last player, but aka Green Bean, once again, doing work. Another 2K for him.
I'd say whoever got the kill Palace, that was honestly the that probably won the round for the CTs actually, because as soon as you kill the Palace guy and an A exec, dealing with the ramp guys is so much easier. So getting that Palace kill definitely sealed the round there. And Shaz's off has been dangerous. Like you can see based on how the cheese are moving around them that like they're afraid.
Well, he's going to get tested here probably pretty soon, as he's going to have to rotate to help over on A side. Virus might be the first person that spots him. Already drops 3, just like that. Gets a 4th one with the help of Chaz. Finally gets taken down by PGK, but Blur trades out as well. Clean round right there from VCU. Nothing too special, though, at the same time, I would say. Just pretty clean up of a quick rush over to A side.
Yep. And NYU here, looks like they're thinking a little bit if they want to buy, but Daz is going to buy the op. And everyone else should have AK and some utility. We'll have to see what kind of round they pull out here, as they've been mostly just doing defaults and 1 A exec so far, so...
Looks like they got multiple people looking at connector and mid as well. There we go. Virus takes the short route up on the boost right here. So he'll see if he can spot anybody crossing through mid. He might find himself Carrick if he decides to pop out. Got 2 players heading over towards B right now at the moment. That's going to be Hells and PGK. Meanwhile, the rest are split up across A side, as you see Small Sushi and Daz. Everybody's getting really close to each other. Nice little pick off from Chaz right there. Eric comes out into the middle, gets greeted by Green Bean. And now it is falling apart a little bit for NYU, as they've got 3 players split apart far away from each other. We got PGK running through almost into 2 CTs and gets taken out by Green Beam before even Luhar has a chance to kill him. The other 2 Ts here located over in Palace and coming over towards A side ramp. This is tough. You do have an op, so you do have ability to maneuver here, but they really got to take advantage of the numbers right now while they have them before the rotations come in.
Yeah, Blur is actually in such a good spot with this situation here. He should at least be able to find 1 kill.
I think he'll find him small Sushi. There it is. Gets Sushi. Does get traded out by Daz, though, and now 1-on-1 here on A side before Luhar has a chance to come over. He has no idea that he's over on CT side at the current moment. He's taking a look. He's peeking. He takes a shot just on the off chance. And he does spot him, though. Daz, nice job staying alive. Oh, my God. Dinks him down to 7. Might want to get that pistol out. Says, never mind. I'll just no-scope him. And now it is a true 1-on-1 with Luhar coming out. Luhar currently has no kills at the moment in this game. Can he get his first one? Nope. Nope. Daz says have a round for NYU at the moment. He's hype right now. Wow. Great round right there for him.
That was like a 4v2 that they came back from. That was crazy. Beautiful play from Daz and his op, and man, that no scope spawn, that really that was really something to watch.
Well, round number 9 as we get into it. 5-3 lead for VCU. We got 3 players setting up over towards B side. Looks like the bomb is going to trail them. We have a lurker in the back with Carrick. We'll see what Green Bean can hear, as they might be looking. Are they looking to Palace, or sorry, apartment, or are they going under? And it looks like apartment at the current moment. So this might come down to Luhar to see how well him and Green Bean can defend. Let's see. B's always tricky to me. I find whenever I play on Mirage, B's always like one of the trickier sites to get in. It's harder to execute smokes, flashes, and clean entries, just because people, you know, bounce it against the edges of walls, and just people trying to stumble out over the top of each other, especially if a molly comes out. It just becomes a really big mess. I like Luhar's position, though. I like this. Do you ever see this often on site?
Yeah, I play this spot a lot, actually. It's really good for just spotting and then being able to throw a Molotov right underneath. So even if they contact out, they have to run right through a Molotov after. So he's going to spot multiple people out, but he doesn't have a molly, so this is tough for him now.
Yeah, he gets pushed out inside at the moment on the backside. He's going to get himself killed by Small Sushi. They will get support right here from Chaz and potentially Green Bean, but Green Bean gets taken out in connector. We have Blur and Chaz currently in market. Meanwhile, on the backside of B side, with Small Sushi sitting there comfortably. On site, we have Daz sitting in apartments, and our last player got taken out. So I think it's up to Daz again.
Can he 1v3 is the question. He's looking in the right area. And, not able to hit it, though. And there's a player by bench, and Blur takes him out, though. And I think if you hit that shot, that shot on the site, he had a decent shot of winning that round because the guy bench was moving in so slowly for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you like having a player that just sits on site like that in the middle of it when he could maybe get backed by Van or move somewhere else closer to connector just to get a better, get a better shot? I feel like there's just too much chaos, especially in like a 3v3 scenario like that when you're just in the middle of site.
Yeah, the thing is, for him to play that spot, he actually needs a teammate that's close to him, and his teammate Cat was far too pushed up. So that's why, like, if they ever do like a B halls explode like that, it's just impossible for him to hold it if he has no nades, which is what happened.
Oh, here we go. Coming in hard in the B, pushing rush. We saw this once on A side. Can it be successful? At the moment, it is not going down for them. Last player remaining, that's going to be PGK, and he gets completely wiped by Green Bean. Another great round for him. What does he get? Another 3K? Yep.
Yeah, with the P90 of all guns as well.
One of my
don't
favorite.
See that gun that
one
often.
of my all-time favorites. It's like you're ever having a hard day in a game of CS:GO, just run up somewhere where you're covered up with a P90 and just hold spray. Don't let it go too loose. You're bound to get yourself a kill or two, and just like after a couple rounds of doing that, you'll just demoralize your opponents. They'll start buying autos, and then the whole entire integrity of the game just goes away at that point. Ugh. All right, 7-3 currently for VCU. Only about 5 more rounds until halftime. We have 2 players checking out under right here. Meanwhile, Green Bean heading back up towards B side of connector, but he is also rotating nicely back to check in on mid. We got 2 players in the upper mid area. We have 2 players coming in from under the tunnel. Oh man, PGK, nice dig right there from the low ground. And now Luhar sneaks in, gets a nice kill, gets a second kill. Hell's dropping nerds right now.
He actually pushed up B there, which is actually a little bit surprising considering all the pistols, but looks like it's just going to be Daz and Carrick. They have to make something happen here. And if I was VCU, if I was Daz and Carrick right now, I'd just try to aim to just get some guns down because VCU economy isn't perfect right now.
No, not at all. But at the same time, hard to argue. hard to argue that they have a nice little advantage going for them if they can clean up this round as well. Blur obviously could feed guns regardless. Probably next round to anybody that would need them. Does spot the 2 Ts on A side ramp. Gets a little bit of damage done. Finally cleans out Daz, and the remaining player gets killed by Chaz. Once again, another clean round for VCU. When they get into position and are able to rotate fairly well, they do a pretty nice job of cleaning up and helping out each other. I think they set up nice crossfires as well to work with for the most part.
Yeah, and especially their teamwork has been really good. Like they really definitely help each other out with the flashes and stuff like that as well. But it looks like NYU here. It looks like there's probably going to be a full A take, seeing as how 4 players are going to group up outside the A main area. PGK though going to be doing some presence towards middle, going to Molotov the connector, pretty standard here. And the reason why PGK always does this is, or for any team really, is to just push the CTs back so that I don't think it's an A exec right away.
Well, we got a little bit of action going on in mid at the moment. PGK getting a little bit of damage done on Virus at the moment. He'll head back and join the rest of their group at A. Yeah, it looks like they're delaying it. At the moment, VCU being very disciplined, not moving too quickly, but there we go. Here comes the big initiate, and all the nades are coming out. Here comes all the T's on A site. This is going to get a little chaotic in the moment. Chaz has the best shot at the moment. He'll dip under smoke, but Virus as well, sitting there right under stairs in between blocks. That, what is that called? That little area between Tetris and stairs.
You mean sandwich?
Sandwich, there we go. Jesus, could not remember for the life of me.
Ooh. PGK gonna find Blur though, and he might be able to take a couple more guns down. He takes down Virus. Trying to find Green Bean with 20 HP here.
PGK doing pretty well. I mean, almost nearly able to kill 2 players right then and there.
Yeah, and he's stuck at this point here as Luhar. He has the exit and should be able to find the headshot there, and there it is. PGK goes down, and 9-3 for VCU. And yeah, that A exec just didn't work out because look at all the utility that VCU had. Like they had so many flashes and Molotovs that NYU they just couldn't get any control really. And the thing is, like Shaz was peeking from the bench area from the smoke, constantly putting pressure. So very tough round.
Well, you had this funny rotation where you had Chaz, like hop back into the smoke. All of a sudden, you got Virus coming out of the stairs down into Sandwich, and so you had people hopping all over the place. That NYU had to keep track of. It's interesting utilization and rotation and movement from VCU that really worked out well for him.
Yeah, the thing is for VCU doing that together is the key. Because if it was only one person, then it wouldn't work that well. But either way, it looks like they're gonna take down Hells, and the rest of NYU they're just still spread out right now.
Yeah, it looks like they wanted to try to go for a default, but it's kind of picked up a little bit too far and got caught at the moment. Got one in Palace, one on ramp. We have one over towards B side, close to tunnels. He might be able to catch Luhar as he's rotating up. Gets him with the headshot. Nice job. Very patient play right there out of PGK. He's going to run on forward with that death cam, and so now you got two CTs rotating over towards B side. You got a little bit of uncertainty on A as well, as Blur kind of jiggled back that way, and Virus is now going to be looking towards mid more. They got a 2-on-1, maybe 2-on-2 potential option here at A site, but it really depends how they want to play this. Do they want to keep them split up, which seems to be a great idea, or do they want to all head over towards A site? Green Bean rotating back towards A.
This has to be some kind of read or something because generally in these situations, if you're VCU, you want to play 2 towards B, 2 towards A, but it looks like they're just kind of gambling more towards A, seeing as how nothing has happened for the last 20 seconds or so. If I was Daz here, I would actually try to fake upper B, get the rotate to go towards B, and then have everyone else bust out A.
Oh, Virus got him. Blur was under him. We got a 2-on-1 scenario here remaining on A side. PGK with the AK. Can he take down Blur? Not before he gets taken down by the Green Bean. Doing so well this game. 16-2-6, 15-5-11 from Virus. Both of the AKA boys doing really damn well this game so far.
Yeah, it's been looking good. 10-3, and like I mentioned before with the CT side, knowing how to react to these different types of situations is VC is doing it perfectly right now.
I think we got another rush on our hands right here. Looks like they're trying to move up really quickly to set this thing on up, and let's see how good the defense from Blur can be. He's going to be able to get some shots off on some players, but not able to do enough damage to kill actually any of them. Lots of smokes, lots of flashes, breaking everybody off over here towards mid connector. And they finally, for once, have a sight, but fires through the box as it ends up killing Carrick, who was the bomb planner at the moment, and he gets PGK right now. What is going on at the moment? Through the smoke falls more players. Chaz, Luhar trade out, and man, Virus just nutty this game. 4K that round. 2 bomb plants back to back in a row through the box. That's pretty good reads right there.
Yeah, he has to have like the lineup or something, man. That was pretty impressive that he was able to get the bomb planter down like that. And if you're NYU, man, that's such a discouraging round because they were able to get into the site, they got the entry, but then they just got spammed through the smoke. Like,
tough round, no doubt about it. VCU right now still holding up strong, hitting ramp right now, trying to get a shot on Carrick. Chaz ends up burning down Hells in mid. That's not something you see every single day. Not sure if he got trapped or was just blinded, wasn't able to get out of there.
Probably blinded and mollied, right? Like it happens sometimes.
Yeah. I pretend it never happens, but I'm pretty sure it does. Just like, why is my HP dropping? Pop, 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 pop. Start moving around, just like, I can't get out of it. Small Sushi finally working his way up under right now. Doesn't spot anybody at window, but knows there was a gunner over there for the time moment Green Bean gets taken out. Virus trying to be really careful and crouch walk his way on up, but he does also have Blur on A side checking out what's going on at the moment. PGK leading the way. Does get traded out by Luhar. Blur, only remaining player on A side, but he might have some help coming out of connector if he can just clear the path out. And nice job by Luhar killing Daz. That will slow down the push right now. Is not a lot of HP on both the players, and one being Blur gets dropped. They have to come back for bomb through mid connector. Oh, he trades. Oh, he reloads.
that was the right play by NYU there, though. I think their idea was to try to double peek from connector just because they were both low, so perfectly executed. Just the thing is, for I forget who it was that was last, but if you just didn't reload, then you probably would have been able to find the second one too.
Yeah, Luhar.
But yeah, regardless, though, 11-4. That's a pretty good half on the CT side, I'd say. Like generally, T sides they would be aiming to get like 6 to 7 type of rounds, so only keeping them to 4 is really good here.
Well, what I noticed on the VCU side, at least on their CT side, Green Bean did a really awesome job of playing the connector into B, or getting that. Sorry, not connector. That's connector. Cat, yeah, getting Cat towards B side, control that really well. Virus controlled connector towards A side really well. Both of them did an amazing job of rotating. You saw obviously Chaz try to hold down mid, Blur hold down A, and then Luhar as well. Even though both of them didn't really do too much, they held up upper B really well, so they were good for notifications. And so a lot of that was like the base defense was really nice for them, but on top of that, they had really nice rotates in place from Virus and Green Bean on each side. So we'll have to see how the defense for NYU though holds up, as we have swapped sides, 11-4 lead for VCU, and they are heading on the way over to B into a triple stack.
Yep.
Oh.
And they're running the same pistol that VCU ran, so Shad's gonna get taken down by Hells immediately though, and these CTs, they're set up for B here. As they're actually gonna get the bomb down here. When Carrick, he's gonna push right in, gets taken down by AKA the Virus, and now it's a 3v2 situation, as this looks like it's gonna be a round for VCU here.
He's off market. Daz can't hop in there for at least a couple seconds. You got Small Sushi, who actually spots Virus, but not able to get an accurate enough shot to stop him. Only remaining players now. Daz does end up killing Blur, and now he's got a manageable, I want to say, 1v2. If he's able to do
possible. He has a kid as well, so if he and he's either gonna stick it. No, he's gonna fake it. And he sees AK the Virus, but he has to stick it at this point.
Well, that's a hell of a way to end the round. Tried to stick it, ended up getting knifed right there. So it's a cute play. Obviously, he knew the position where he was at and knew the timing really well. It was really close on both ends, but that was kind of cute. That was fun to watch. All right, well, 12-14. Pistol round goes to VCU's side. Let's see what they can come up with to continue the momentum. Obviously, 4 more rounds, and they can take a win for any of our potential new CSGO viewers. You have to win 16 rounds to end up taking one map. And so sometimes you do see 15-15, which means they go into overtimes, but this might not be one of those games, as you see Virus just creeping right through connector. Daz has to run away with that. What gun is it? Wait, what gun? I was about to say, that's not a scout. That's what the hell is that?
I mean, I don't know which other gun you're referring to.
No, the one that Luhar has.
Oh, right now?
Yeah.
Oh, he has the SG.
The SG, sorry, yeah.
The Craig, yeah.
It's like you don't see that bot too often.
Yeah. The thing is, though, if you're good with this gun can be so deadly.
Is it kind of like the AUG? Is it kind of like the AUG pretty much?
Yeah, it's like the AUG, yeah. The thing is, like, if you're really good with that gun, you can, like, outpick offers with that. Like, I know there's some people out there who are really good with that gun, and they're just deadly. Like, just because it's more accurate than the AK. And because you have the zooming function as well, right? You can take out offers with that if you peek properly.
I mean, you're hoping you get that one-shot headshot pretty much at that point when you're taking them on. But yeah, with that scope obviously helps out.
Yeah.
Another round for VCU, pretty clean. They kind of swarmed all over the place the whole entire round and just got in there. More of a semi-buy, it looks like right here from VCU, and they're going to be charging right on in. PGK and Carrick, it's going to be up to them. PGK gets another shot. Carrick gets a kill too. Managed to trade out 2 of them. Meanwhile, Blur and Chaz clean up the rest of the bodies, and the only remaining player it looks like is in mid is Hells. Wow, that's pretty fast.
Yeah, they just went for the straight B play, and you know, like if NYE actually stacked B there, which they could have, just because they only had USPs, that could have been far more deadly. But either way, Hells should just be aiming to keep this AK here, keep bringing it into the next round, and hopefully start mounting the comeback from 14-4.
Indeed, they will. Well, is he going to be able to hold on to the AK? He's got Blur coming up on him pretty close. Doesn't turn around in time. Hells manages to get one more. Here comes Luhar hoping to trade. Ow, and he gets him right before the end of the round. Oh, wow. That's one of those ones you're like, come on, man. Yeah, you see Luhar. You see Luhar and Chad dropping the re. I would be pretty upset at that too as well, just with the timing of that. Still another round though. Currently at the moment, VCU leads the way 14-4. Let's see if they can close out the final 2 rounds or if they're going to run into any trouble. Daz try to play at mid and window, gets out of the way of that. Green Bean gets picked off. We do have Blur creeping up on under as well. He's pretty close to a couple players. I think Carrick heard him down there right under him. And this is a lot of footsteps, a lot of bodies all right next to each other. It just matters who's going to move on first. Smoke comes through the connector side of things. Got a couple players moving up mid. Carrick spots. Luhar takes him out as well as Small Sushi trades out Chaz. It's going to be up to, it looks like Hells to do something right here. Barely spots that shadow of the body over here. We got mid versus window battles going on here too as well. Blur and Virus all by themselves. Let's see what they can do. Blur gets taken out. Virus, the remaining player on A site, bouncing between the stairs, catches Carrick as he hops across the little narrow gap right there. And only 1 player versus 3. A tough task against Daz, Sushi, and PGK. It looks like NYU might get another round here.
Yeah, he still has 48 seconds though, so he just needs to be able to find 1 kill. And maybe he can make something happen, but
magnificent.
There, oh my god, I can't believe that flash actually got Small Sushi. But it looks like he's going to be clearing out those Tetris, and with 34 seconds, oh, no.
Daz catches him from CT. Nice cleanup right there, heard the plant bomb and dropped him right away. So, NYU got another round. They might not be out of this just yet.
Yeah, I just wanted to point out, AKA the Virus, he probably should have just faked the bomb there, just because generally, if that player from spawn is just going to move out like that, there's a really good chance that there's somebody else that's also there. Because there'd be no reason for that player to just move out like that.
Well, you would imagine the rotate, at least like both the rotates should be in position. The only one that could see you realistically is from CT side, so it'd be just smarter to play that. I agree with you. Got PGK ready on the defense with Carrick on B site. We have slow forming default. Chaz crawling up a little bit too high without checking his window to the left and market. Gets killed off. Blur coming in from tunnel, smoking off connector. You have Carrick now able to comfortably move up. He might be able to catch 2 in cat right here. He does end up catching 1. He might be able to get Virus 2 as well. Drops him as well with a headshot. Bomb is officially down over in cat side, and Blur as well as Green Bean have to figure out what the hell they just want to do. That bomb is in one of the worst positions for them to try to get to at the moment, and now you have players all over the place, and B as well as connector ready to defend it.
Ooh, I think PGK actually spotted them there. Ooh, nice shot by PGK. It's all down to Blur now, as he should just be looking to do economic damage at this point. You don't want to make the CTs survive with 5 alive, but Hell's cleaning it up. 14 to 6. You know, could be a comeback here.
You're just like 16-6. It's over. It's over.
Nah, not yet. Not yet.
It is all over. So yeah, no, that was a pretty good round for NYU. Finally, I feel like they had a good defensive position. They were able to get some nice shots off as well. Caught some of the players off guard that were coming through cat right there, and that's kind of the rounds that they need to slowly start building up that momentum if they want to think about a comeback this game at the moment. Big train coming through B side right now. It looks like a really aggressive rush that's going to come through. Let's see what Carrick and PGK come up with. Well, that's pretty good. That's not too bad. Just a meat grinder of bullets right there, and Daz finishes off Virus. Quick round for NYU as well. They're up to 7 now, slowly creeping their way back.
Yeah, just a clean round for the CTs there. So they should be able to have good economy here for the next couple of rounds, I'd say. Even if they lose this next one, they can buy.
Was it something that, in a sense, VCU did wrong there, rushing into B just like that, or was it just a good counter from New York to get those nades out in time and get the crossfire going? I
think in general, it's just like NYU, or from VCU's point of view, like they know that NYU is gonna have nades, and they know you're on eco, so rushing B is probably one of the most common rushes that you can do. So I'd say VCU should have just waited for the utility first, and then go for a B contact maybe.
I find it interesting, just because like some teams just like go a little bit, sometimes go a little too hard, like on the pug strats, and I'm just like, if they waited a little bit more patiently, I feel like they have the talent and the capability to do something with it. But here they come over on A site. Small Sushi gets cleared out, and now VC once again has control of A site. Chaz picks off Hells over from connector side. Did not see his back getting open. PGK a little bit late on that rotate to help him out, but PGK does get Chaz. 2 on 4. If they're patient about it, let maybe Daz get a little bit of a peek. See if he can snipe somebody down rather than fighting. Instead, PGK goes down first. doesn't spot Blur in time, and Daz falls as well. 15-7. We're sitting on match point.
Yeah, some poor utility usage from NYU there. Like seeing that A exec come through and there weren't that many nades being thrown back at them, which kind of just allowed them to just overrun the site. And then Chaz was able to seal it by getting that flanking connector. So, I mean, a little bit questionable, but either way, NYU, they still have money to buy, like I said here. 2 ops and good utility as well.
Yeah, we'll see if they can hold up with it. It hasn't really worked out for them too well at the current moment. They have a lot of people stacked over across mid, connector, and Cat. Just seeing what's going on over in mid, they might be able to find themselves Chaz. Chaz walking up really aggressively into that smoke. Doesn't get spotted at the moment. I don't think they know he's there at the current moment. He's got to be careful that there's going to be 2 guns looking at him really closely. Manages to sneak at Daz, but Carrick finds him as well. Trades out 1 for 1. Now it's really going to come down to what looks to be small sushi as Blur's going to come out. Able to trade. Not able to get a second one though, and now we got 3 players of VCU on site. Patient and careful play out of Carrick and PGK are needed. This could be their final round right here. What do they have in them? PGK coming from the CT side. They got Carrick over on stairs. Misses his first off shot over on the T side. Virus Green Bean Luhar looking over to CT side. Virus knows he's got to play right next to him on the stairs. Nice shot by Carrick, but does get traded out. Luhar, PGK coming in from the back. Can he get another one?
Oh.
And no. That's going to be GG. What a game.
Yeah, that was pretty explosive. I mean, the scoreline wasn't that close, but like if you actually looked at the game itself, like there were a lot of nice shots, a lot of nice plays as well.
Again, for NYU, what do you see as their improvement and necessity kind of need? It seems like they don't always use their utility correctly. Sometimes they just kind of are very loose with their strats as well, especially on pistol rounds. I feel like they could have gotten around here, around there, back if they were just a little bit more careful, cautious, and a little more calculated. Some plays just seem a little too rushed for them. Meanwhile, VCU decided to be a little bit more patient, utilized a lot more utility, positioned themselves better, more so of the game. I don't know. You're my CS:GO expert, so what do you think?
I'd say that like they needed to work the map a little bit more. Like I felt like they were kind of just rushing into things too much. Like not just on their eco rounds, but their gun rounds as well. Like they weren't giving enough time for VCU, or like they weren't punishing VCU's mistakes. With VCU, they're constantly flashing for their teammates. They're constantly using their nades well. So it was kind of like they tried a couple of execs a couple of times. It didn't work out. They tried defaulting, but they did like too quickly, and they just kept running into VCU's traps. So I just say play out the rounds a little bit more. Just wait for VCU to do something, kind of see if you can capitalize on that, and then do something more late round. That's like the biggest thing I would say.
Indeed, I agree with you. Looking at some of the final stat lines, we had Virus probably our MVP with 29, 8, and 17 to finish off the day, 130 ADR. Not as record-breaking as our earlier game today, almost nearly record-breaking. But it was pretty good indeed, tailed by Blur and Luhar at 18, 12, and 14, and 15, 4, and 15. Really nice play by them. Green Bean as well, Chaz. I just feel like as a team, they had a really nice balance, especially more so on the CT side. Just They really understood their roles and played to those advantages really well. They had really good guys at rotate positions, as well as also the guys that were some of the stable portions dealing with mid, B, and A side as well. So New York, if they want to continue and hope to have dreams of playoffs, as well as also getting far into the playoffs, there's definitely some things that they're going to need to improve on. But PGK still the leader for them, 22, 8, and 18. Carrick at 18, 5, and 20. The rest of the team obviously will have to look to figure out ways to improve and support their team as well. Also could be just a one-off game as well. You never know. Sometimes it just with different time schedules and with everything going on in the spring. I feel like this is that weird time of year where you have to be more serious about your CS:GO play, but you also have to consider like your classes too as well in a more serious matter. A lot of times I see like freshmen especially that kind of pissed away their fall semester just because they wanted to play video games, skip classes. I'll raise my hand. Like up at CU Boulder, I had some proud midweek drinking days, like where in the fall, where just like you look at the spring, you're like, okay, I got to get my shit together, and so you begin actually prioritizing the more important things in your life. And for some players, obviously, CS:GO cannot be that high of a priority, but You do see some players, though, still train, can still play well week to week, and obviously hope the best for both teams as they continue to look through the schedule. Looking at that future schedule, though, we have on Wednesday Alabama and Wisconsin. Wisconsin could be an interesting team to watch. We've kind of been curious to see what they've been up to here for the past spring. We haven't seen them in a while. They're going to be playing against Alabama, who's a bit reeling at the moment, but a program that's very enthusiastic. I think will develop over the years. They have a good base to start with this year. We will also find out what our Wednesday 7 p.m. Pacific match will look like a little bit later. You've got also next week Colorado versus Toronto. We'll be covering that on Monday at 4 p.m. Pacific. LSU versus Carleton at 7 p.m. Pacific. And then a whole slew of games for the remaining 2 weeks that we'll utilize for 14 and the rescheduled week. Should be a lot of fun. By Wednesday, I would assume our tag team of True and Zach, aka Crackshot, will be back and ready to cover games. So if you guys missed them and just don't want to see my beautiful face and that beautiful face next to you, you might get your wish come Wednesday. Other than that, I mean, any notes, anything that you kind of took away from today as well from the Northern Kentucky and North Texas game?
Well, I mean, we discussed that earlier. It was just so one-sided that North Texas they will just take it pretty easily. But as far as this game, like the NYU versus VCU game, I actually felt like individually they weren't actually really that different. I just felt like NYU's approach was just a little bit outdated, I'd say. Like they just like they didn't have like a good plan of what they wanted to do going into that T side. Whereas like VCU, like it looked like they had a really good plan. Like they were constantly going to fight mid. There were so many times that somebody was pop flashing over middle, somebody peaked, or there'd be the connector and cat and window all fighting at the same time, right? Like it just felt like NYU, they didn't really have a plan for that.
Mm-hmm. So what you're saying is you wanted to see VCU versus North Texas today, right?
I mean, I would say
a mid-tier dream matchup, matchup.
If that happened, I think VCU would still win. I think it'd be like 16. You can quote me on this too. I think it'd be like a 16-9 type of game.
I would say like 16-11, 16-12, maybe a little bit closer. I'll give them a few extra rounds. All right, guys. Quick shout outs to Twitch. As always, our partner in regards to everything that we've done to develop collegiate esports. Want to give them a big thank you if you guys haven't. They have a special initiative for their Twitch student program. So if you guys are looking for resources and information on how to grow your club, get your streaming going, or your streams to cover your matches, anything you need in terms of developing and getting those specific resources that you need, you could hit up Twitch Student at Twitch Student on Twitter, or you guys can check out the links below in our info tab. We have them available for you guys, as well as also as our primary streaming platform. There's no other place that you would rather watch us play than on Twitch. I mean, YouTube, technically, if you want to watch a VOD, I don't know, Panda TV player, maybe? Would you somebody in China's got to be restreaming us. Somebody, like, come on, Russia, where are you guys at? Good game.ru player, come on, get it going, guys. Definitely get the word out there, though. Be sure to follow the channel. You guys can follow our Twitters right below our names if you need them. And if you are a fan of CS:GO, you guys can catch us back on Wednesday. Mahone decided to bail out early with the camera right there, so I apologize.
Discord crashed or something. I don't know.
DC Discord crash right there. But yeah, we will see you guys on Wednesday for more CS:GO at 4 p.m. Pacific. Until then, get some rest or head over to C-Star League 2 where we got League of Legends, and where tomorrow we'll have StarCraft 2 and Dota 2 as well for all your esportsy needs. Everybody else, have a good rest of the week. We'll see you next time.